Cool. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Growth Path. Today, I'm super excited to have somebody on today that we've just been having a bit of fun behind the scenes with. It's Pam Didner. So Pam has an amazing background, starting from with numerous different areas. But right now we were just talking. So Pam mentioned like, oh, what exactly does Pam do? Pam's in B2B marketing now, but Pam started as an auditor, right? So comes from an auditor's background at KPMG, then went over to Accenture. So also one of the bigger heads working there, the change management there, and then went over to Intel. Was at Intel for a number of years,
A
starting
long
in supply
time.
chain, 13, 14 years or something like that at Intel,
Yep, long
and then
time.
went from supply chain management then all the way up to marketing, various different roles within the marketing org. And I guess that's where you got your first real taste of marketing, right? Based on
Yes,
where I've
yes,
seen it,
that
yeah.
is true. I went to the
Doing
dark
what
side. I went to the dark side. I call marketing the dark side.
it could have got real dark. You could have got into sales.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So following that, then Pam has been a lecturer at a number of different universities. So two, from what I've seen on your profile, and then has also been an author 3 times as well. So we're going to dig into that a little bit. And in the past years, has been doing fractional CMO work and advisory work for B2B marketing. Pam, I hope I represented that well.
You did. You did. I was like, oh my God, I jump around a lot as if I'm very much like lack of focus.
No, I think that like we're all a bit that way nowadays. I think like if anybody that's been working in any type of tech, especially in marketing, is like, oh, shiny thing. Oh, another shiny thing. Oh shit, look, there's more shiny stuff. And it's like, try find a CMO or anything nowadays that doesn't have 25 different positions on their profile or 25 different companies on their profile.
It's
It's
kind of
very
hard.
hard.
Yes, I 100% agree.
Exactly. So, hey, look, I've been looking at your profile and a lot of stuff. Like, let's talk about stuff as of recently, right? So, you've written a couple of books that's around AI. So, why don't we just start with the hot topic that's on everybody's mind at the moment, AI, right? But without getting too boring, because everybody's talking about AI, let's talk a little bit about the books and the process that you went through. So, you wrote one that was talking originally about ChatGPT and the modern marketer having to use AI in ChatGPT. So, other than the obvious of like, hey, like this is a thing, like what spurred you to do that? Like you obviously have like something in you that's like, hey, I want to write books, right? That's first and foremost.
Yeah, so obviously AI is on top of everybody's mind. It doesn't matter which business professionals you are in almost in every single field. And when I actually started talking about AI back in 2019. But that was literally kind of like people started looking to AI from the perspective of predictive analytics. And a lot of big tech like Amazon, like Facebook, they have so much about data and they can use the machine or algorithm to actually do a lot of predictive analytics that, how should I say it, a small business or the medium-sized company can. And of course, everything changed on November 30th, 2022, when OpenAI launched ChatGPT. Okay, within 5 days, they got 1 million users, and within 2 months, they got 100 million users. I think everybody's fascinated by it. It's kind of like a next level of search. You ask a specific question. In fact, you are searching for an answer. And then ChatGPT was like, hey, this is the answer you're looking for. So for a long time, Google has dominated the search field. So we enter something. There's like, oh, these are the 10,000 things you should take a look before you find your answer. So people are captivated because they got that instant gratification, the instant answer. Doesn't matter the answer is right or wrong, but it's there. Yeah. And I think that somehow prompted in terms of people looking into, oh my God, this is the next big thing, which it is to some extent. And when I started writing prompts, and I'm a B2B marketer through and through, and I'm thinking from the perspective like, okay, writing prompts is kind of important, especially if you want to write a good prompts to get the answer you want in the professional environment. Like, for example, if you're a B2B marketer, you can say, oh, write me a marketing plan. But AI is going to give you a very generic response. How do you write that prompt a little bit more specific so you can get a more customized answer? So that's how I started in terms of like, hey, there are a couple things you need to pay attention to if you are working with chatbot. So that's how I got started. And I was thinking, yeah, why don't I do that? And it's a small book. It's not very big. I'm not writing a masterpiece, everyone. This is only like 100-page, but it's get to the point. Like nowadays, you have to get to the point very quickly, right? It's very concise, get to the point. It's pretty much what you need to know as a B2B marketer. You know the history a little bit, you know how to write prompts, you also know how to scale AI if you decide to automate some of the workflow. That's about it. That's it. And you can read it, everyone, while watching Netflix.
There you go. That's important. That's important.
That's very important nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's like at night, like, should I read a book? Should I watch Netflix? Why don't you do both?
You could do both, and you can watch TikTok videos at the same
At the
time.
same time.
At the same time. So book in one hand, phone in the other, TV on. Love it.
Exactly.
How long did it take you to write it? Just out of interest.
So for this specific book, it's 12 weeks, actually. And, you know, I have a lot of ideas already, so I'm not counting the time that ideas was simmering. So writing can be pretty quick. It's kind of like creating plan. It takes a while to create your plan, but execution can be pretty fast if your plan is very solid. So that analogy applies here. It took me about 12 weeks to write and then to edit and then to put in the format, the digital format and also the print format. And I decided to self-publish this because this is very kind of like very light, right? And of course, you go to Amazon directly, and I learned so much about book selling on Amazon.
And
Painful
how's it going?
process, painful,
Yeah, I can
but it
imagine.
was actually a good lesson.
Is it going okay? How are the sales going?
Yeah, it went pretty well. I do actually Amazon ads. So in the past, I don't usually do any ads. I'm the type of person like, you know what, organic outreach, optimize my content, and do quite a bit of social media posts. So you can see that actually I'm across multiple different social media channels. So I'm more kind of like organic girl instead of the pay girl. But for this specifically, I actually did quite a bit of Amazon pay ads. And as of February 15th, I actually sold 1,300 books. So
Wow.
I actually think that's pretty good. It's
really
very
good.
interesting. I can attribute 300 of them for pay ads. So
Interesting.
the other 1,000, it's really kind of like organic outreach.
Cool.
I cannot tie like where the sales, how the sales came by at what channel, because I did not create UTM to track each channel because my volume is very small. It's not worth it. But but I've been doing it very consistently and talking about the books. Actually, I have two. This one is even shorter. This is like a 75 prompts you need to know as a B2B marketer. So that's what I did. It's I created two little books, and it's get to the point and people can understand what they need to do very quickly. The reason a lot of people are overwhelmed, Andy, I'm gonna just say it one more time. Share with you. It's because there's so many news about AI nowadays. Is almost every single day. As a marketer or as a sales professional, you don't know how to filter what information is you need or what information just purely news. Is that helpful? So I always tell my fellow B2B marketers, don't stress out. If you miss the news about AI today, tomorrow, next week, it's not going to hurt you. The thing is, you just keep trying ChatGPT or any kind of a chatbot and find a way to use it effectively. You can worry about the workflow later because tools are coming. If you actually try to automate something based on existing tools right now, chances are you might need to change it 6 months down the road.
100%. I think people are probably just a bit overwhelmed, like because there's so many things that you can do, but you don't necessarily know about all the things that you can do. But then you try to find all of the things you can do, you don't know what you don't. It's like
you're like, I'm crumbling down.
Exactly. Like my head is about to melt. Like it's like. Let's get into because this brings me to an important point. So you mentioned like in your second book is all about the prompts, right? So you've got 75 prompts in there.
So prompts, yeah.
So let's talk a bit about those prompts. Like as a B2B marketer, so as a fellow B2B marketer, teach me something. What was like the most interesting prompts that you've come across, like that you've seen like huge amount of value from the easiest thing to the more complex? Like what are some of the ones that really stuck out to you?
So the one okay, let me just step back for a second. When you write prompts, it actually demonstrates how much you know about your customers, your products, and also your company. So you can write something like, okay, write a marketing plan. Or you can write a marketing plan for healthcare segments. Or you can say, write a marketing plan for health segment. The company size is this with this kind of revenue. Our target audience is blah, blah, blah. Or you can write a marketing plan for healthcare segment. This company has this annual revenue. The target customer is this. The marketing objectives are so and so. By the way, you can say, by the way, that we want to run 12-month campaigns using these marketing channels. Create the recommendation of the plan for me. Do you see how detailed I have gone from like very generic prompt to very detailed? And the good prompt tests your knowledge and how much you understand your company, your product, your customers, and everything, and even your messaging. So I always tell people that you are not going to go to AI and say, tell me about my customers. AI can tell you about your customer when you enter job titles. AI can tell you the customers when you enter, the demographics. But you are the one need to know all this to brief AI, so AI can give you the answer that you need. So a lot of people were thinking that, okay, I'm just going to get answer from AI. No. You use your knowledge to get better answer from AI. To me, that's very important mindset you need to have. Is can you use AI to test your knowledge, your expertise? Okay,
That's
so
really
that's how I think like how AI prompts should be. Honestly.
Okay, that's interesting. So basically, the deeper you go and the more that you feed it with so the more that you feed it in terms of, as you mentioned, just go back to your example. I want to create a marketing plan, but then I need to know my audience. I need to know potentially my competitors. I need to know if specific messaging goes in a specific direction, specific industries. This is the type of revenue that this company that I have that I work with. This is the type of marketing budget that I can work with. This is what we spent before, perhaps, etc., etc. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so Andy, where's the marketing? The marketing plan is already in your head because you have all that information, right? So in the past, you have to kind of structure all that information in a way that your management can understand. Now you use AI to help you, but don't ever think that without that kind of knowledge that AI can do your job. AI probably can do your job. That's because you help AI so it can do your job.
Yeah, fully agree. Like it's interesting. Like this might be an interesting one for you as well. So I find myself using ChatGPT on a daily basis. Today, for example, I met with one of my customers and we're considering pricing changes, right? So we're thinking about, okay, how can we implement a pricing model or pricing changes that maybe won't hurt us, right? So it's a volume SaaS product.
You want to find a sweet spot. Yeah, it's not too high, it's not too low, but that sweet spot. Yeah,
exactly. And I want to sort of do some risk analysis as well a little bit. So what we did was we took an entire month of data looking at like a sign up data for the specific product. We've taken all of that based on the specific plans that people are already in, and we've fed that into ChatGPT to be able to be like and have crunched the data within minutes, which would normally take us a couple of days to crunch, right?
Totally
then
agree.
put it into a table. Then we've said, okay, if we put this particular pricing level in, that would mean that people that were previously in a different price category, they would move into another price category. How many people would that be from if we compare it to that specific month that we did? And we've seen like, actually, if we make some changes here, it's quite low risk. And actually, we're probably leaving like a number of thousands on the table every month in monthly recurring revenue because we haven't thought about things this way. Now,
so may I ask one question?
Go ahead.
I'll let you finish first. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. Go ask, Chris. Ask.
So before you kind of enter that information into ChatGPT and with the different factors into account. Do you guys have a gut, check,
Yeah.
like in terms
Yeah.
of what the pricing should be? Do you guys
Yeah.
have like, for example, if you charge $1,200, you kind of feel like, you know what, that might be too high. It's probably around $900 to $1,000 range. Do you have a gut number
Yeah.
that you have in mind? Okay,
Yeah.
so my next question is, you have that number when ChatGPT spills out. That sounds bad. When they provide
Vomits when it
you
vomits it when it
vomit,
vomits it out. Yeah.
when I provide you the pricing recommendation, was that somehow aligned with your
Yeah,
gut?
it
Or
was. It was. It was. It
see?
was aligned with our gut because we knew like we wanted to use it as a, first of all, to crunch the data a little bit so that we could take
Yeah,
a large data set and turn it into something that we could make a data driven decision based on, which would normally take us a long time to do. Right.
yeah, that's true.
And it took minutes, right? And at the
Yeah,
same time, we wanted to, like, as you've put before, like, we know the product, we know our customer, we know
you
our
have to know
audience. Yeah,
this.
yeah,
AI doesn't.
yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And you have to
yeah,
enter those information. They probably can do analysis better than us, but somehow your gut also tells you
yeah,
in terms of what's the pricing range,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And to
yeah.
me, it's using the data or AI to kind of validate it. Yeah.
But I think that goes to another, like, interesting point as well. Like, when it comes to data, like, I believe that our gut tells us like 90% and data normally tells us 10. Like, when it comes to making decisions, I think if you're using, like, I'm very much of the school of like common sense rather
Yeah.
than basing everything off of data.
Yes. So, Andy, I agree with you. At the same time, I disagree with you. So, I only agree with you that the gut is 90%, and that I agree with you if you are the expert.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah, of
know
course.
what you are doing, and then I would say gut is 90%. But there are a lot of people. How can I say that nicely? Okay, I love them dearly, but they are not necessarily know what they are doing. Then trusting their gut 90%, I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair. It's
You
only,
see
you
where I'm
can only
coming
trust
from?
you. You can only trust your gut to be 90% if you're right.
Like, for example, if somebody say, okay, Pam, you need to do open heart surgery. I mean, I'm going to trust my gut 90%. I know I'm going to get it wrong.
All right. So open heart surgery and B2B marketing slightly different.
I'm just
Sometimes
extreme, okay?
I would rather compare brain surgery to B2B marketing, to be honest with you, rather than heart surgery. But that's just me, Pam, so.
I love it. I love it. That's good. That's good.
So tell me, like, so we spoke about, like, just looking at your career, you've done all types, as we've
Yeah.
mentioned, and you got into B2B marketing. So
Yeah.
what are you doing right now? So what projects are you working on at the minute?
Do you really want to know?
I want to know. I want to know if you want to tell. I don't know. Yeah, I want to know.
Okay, it's kind of very interesting that I've been doing B2B marketing for about 20 years. And in the past 10 years, I've been on my own. And, if you are kind of like independent consultant, a lot of time you have to somehow promote yourself. And one way of promoting yourself is you share your knowledge. And the one way of sharing your knowledge is you writing books. So I've been written, several business books, if you will. And the thing is, I always want to write a fictional novel or a screenplay. That's
Cool.
really what I want to do. It's like, but I don't really have a caliber of doing that. So I did write a fictional novel, and I spent like whole year writing it and working with a coach and get a story down, writing the plot development. And at the end of the day, and I tested with a bunch of agents, it was not that great. The story was flat. And I totally agree with them, by the way. It's kind of like you did something, and then you just you try and you gave your best, and you fail spectacularly. Okay, that's what happened to me in the past 1 year. But I'm trying again. I kind of want to. I have another story in mind, so I kind of want to like write it out and see how that goes. So that's always something I want to do. Like, if you ask me what I want to do when I grow up, is I want to write stories. But the problem is, like, many authors are poor.
Many.
Many.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, if
yeah.
I just counting on writing books, I probably will be poor as well. The bestseller authors, like, that's really like top 1% or top 0.1%. So I'm working, during daytime and doing whatever I'm doing. And then at night, I just kind of want to do that. So
That's nice. That's nice though. It's like it sounds like an interesting thing to do. It sounds like your passion. Like, I mean, you've written a couple of
it's
books
suffering.
already.
It's called self
It's suffering.
abuse.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
any
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of art creation or any kind of creative journey is you really want to abuse yourself. It's a massive suffering. I'm telling you. It's like,
I can, yeah, but it's like it's one of those things though. It's like it's suffering for something that you enjoy doing, and at the end of the day, it's something that might work out for you in the end. But if it doesn't,
yeah, we'll
at least
see.
you've tried. You know, at
Yeah,
least you've tried.
exactly. Exactly. I
But
agree.
hey, Pam,
So I'm giving
we've
it a shot.
just we've just come up on time now. Thanks so much for coming on. So where can people find you, Pam?
You can find me on pamdidner.com. That's my website. And I'm pretty active on every single channel. I even have TikTok.
That's more than I have. That's more than I have. So that's fair play. Fair
So
play.
connect with me on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. And if you have any question about AI or marketing, send a question to me, hello@pamdidner.com. That's my email address. Or you can always just text me, okay, on LinkedIn. I'll respond.
Perfect. Pam, thanks so much for coming on. It's been great meeting you.
Take care. Thank you so much for having
Thanks.
me.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Pam. This has been another episode of Grow Pat. Thanks, Pam.